guys, welcome back to Lost in My Library. My name's Kate. Today I am doing an ARC review over Stay Awake by Megan Goldin. This is the same author who wrote The Night Swim, and I want to thank the publisher NetGalley for giving me a copy of this book. This book is about our main character Liv, who, when she falls asleep, she forgets 2 years of her life. Or she forgets a lot about her life up until a traumatic event that happens. Traumatic event that had happened. So it's only when she falls asleep that she forgets this, which is very interesting and a different twist on the amnesiac trope of the thriller novels. It has been happening a long time, and her friends and family actually know about her condition where if she falls asleep, she forgets time in her life, and it's spoken as if it's a thing that can actually happen. And I wish this book had gotten more in depth with the science of her condition and added that in more into the novel, but it didn't. If we're going into characters, I really did enjoy the characters. I liked Liv as a main character. I think that the book makes her an unreliable narrator, but not to the point where she's villainized. She just really doesn't know. She is an amnesiac, but it's a different take on amnesia than you're going to normally see in a thriller. It's not like Riley Sager, who has kind of selective, I don't know, but he always has unreliable narrators in his stories. But this one feels a lot different than like a Riley Sager novel. She is someone who in her past was thought to have committed murders, and then in her present, she's also, at the beginning of the novel, she wakes up and she has a bloody knife in her hand, a note that says "Stay awake," and there is a dead body in the room with a stab wound in him. So she thinks that she's killed the guy. Obviously, you wake up, but she doesn't remember any of what's happening. So the story is following what actually happened, and if it wasn't Liv, who is it? And why are they doing this? And that's the interesting story, kind of following the book, is like, okay, did Liv do this? And if not, why? Why is the person who's doing it specifically targeting and having Liv take the fall? And it's very interesting. There's a lot of side characters in this novel, and I wish there was more depth to these characters, but we really don't get a whole lot of depth to these characters. So examples like Harry the bartender, who shows up kind of infrequently, but he knows of her condition, Liv's condition, and seems to be a friend of Liv's. And I wish there was more depth to like her maybe feeling like she could go to this guy. And actually, we don't find out his name is Harry until the very end. That's not a spoiler. There's just, his name is Harry. He just doesn't show up hardly in the novel. Kind of wish he was more in it, because that could have been interesting. Ted, who is Liv's ex-boyfriend, who is, in the novel, Amy, who is her former roommate in London, and Detective Halliday, who is conducting the investigation for the murder of the body that we find in the first chapter, like as soon as the book starts. She's an interesting character too. I wish there was more. Barely knew anything. We got bare basics about them. But that also, I guess, could also play into the fact that we're following Liv for majority of it. So Liv has no idea who these people are. But we get these flashbacks to her time before the dramatic event happened. And kind of a little bit after that as well, to show off her knowing who Ted is, her time with Ted, and everything. So there's times where we could know more about these side characters. And also, Detective Halliday has full chapters that are just following her, because she's separate from Liv the entire novel. And then I talked about the science of it. Atmosphere, moving on. Atmosphere, we don't spend a whole lot of time in one place, or time. We kind of jump all over time and space, in this novel. So atmosphere really isn't built up that much in this novel. She's on the run for a lot of this book. So you feel it as you're reading it. There's not a whole lot of atmosphere, but it's fine. Writing, I have no complaints about writing. The plot was fascinating. I talked about it. We are trying to figure out if Liv did it, and why, and if she didn't, why the person's doing it. I wanted to know everything. I wanted to know everything from the past murder to the current murder, and how it all links. What's the link to everything besides Liv? And Megan definitely knew how to write a book that just got you hooked, and knew, with a twist on a well-used trope. Logic, I'm not really sure how logical Liv's condition is. I feel like it's logical within the confines of the story, but this is a contemporary novel. Therefore, this kind of feels it has to be logical within our own universe. But it is wild that she was on the run for as long as she was. With how much she had against her, especially with the prior murders that had happened in London. Enjoyment, I really did enjoy this. I ended up giving this a 3.5 star rating. I think this is a very solid thriller if you're looking for something to get you in the start of spooky season, because it's spooky season, my dude. I know this just came out last week, so if you want to go to the library, pick it up. If you're a fan of The Night Swim, which I have not read, but I've heard great things about it. I'm sure you'll probably like this as well. I enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. And go be a good cabbage today. Do something kind for someone, even if that is for yourself. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.